being a reigning champion from another organization? You know, somebody that's technically still got a belt around their waist.
A fight's a fight. I couldn't care less about that. You know, I'm gonna go get my hand raised, whether we're the back of a 7-Eleven or whether it's, you know, title for title, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I'm gonna go beat him up.
He mentioned that he watched you, you know, even though he wasn't in the organization, and kind of studied you as you progressed in your career. Does the same hold true? Did you watch him at all? Did you watch the Strikeforce organization?
He was fighting professionally since when I first got into college, so he's been fighting for a long time. So I watched him when I was in college, just wrestling, and I wasn't even thinking about being a fighter. I've seen him fight a bunch of times over in Japan and internationally and stuff like that. So yeah, I've seen him fight, but more just as a fan, you know, watching the sport and stuff like that. Since I got into MMA, have I, you know, kept my eye on him as a competitor? No, not really, but after we heard about the buyout from Strikeforce and the rumors were it's going to happen and they're going to come over, blah, 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 then we started looking at some of those guys, yeah.
When you were watching him as a fan, was there anything specifically he did that impressed you, or did he just, you know, did he seem like a top-tier fighter deserving of all the praise that he's got over these years?
When I was watching him back in college, it was just cool seeing another ex-college wrestler going into MMA and having success and doing good. I was happy for him, so like that, but nothing really like stood out that much.
Benson, he gave you a pretty good compliment because he said when he saw you in WC, he wasn't necessarily as impressed with you, but when you went to the UFC, he thought you made a dramatic improvement and really had gotten better. Do you feel like, you know, from your WEC days to now that you've made this dramatic improvement, or do you think you're like pretty much the same fighter that you were then, just with a higher profile?
Just pretty much the same, maybe a little bit of a higher profile, more media attention, that sort of stuff, but to be honest, pretty much the same. If anything, I have a little bit more of a hard edge to me in my fights. I'm not as relaxed, not as, okay, go with the flow and see what happens. I have a focused tunnel vision when I go into the cage ever since I've had my last loss. So since that, I you know, grew and got better as a fighter.
Why did that affect you so much? Because it was a fight that could have gone either way, right? So I mean, I would think you'd have regret on the fight that you felt like you didn't do well in.
I don't like losing. Period. I don't care. All the extra, you know, extra stuff on top of it, you know, it is what it is. But just the fact that I lost, I don't like that.
Is that feel you in sorts? Is you don't want to have that feeling again that you had in WC 52?
For sure. You know, I guess feel. I'm a pretty highly self-motivated person. I don't need any extra feel. Oh, this and that and blah blah blah. This guy talked crap about me. That being said, no, I didn't like the way I felt after my last loss, and I don't ever plan on feeling that way again.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said about that fight that was a fight that maybe you did let the moment get to you, right? You didn't fight your fight. You wanted to go out and make a point, stand with him instead of just doing what your strengths were.
Exactly, which is why now I'm more focused. I just pay attention to my goal, what I have to do. I got too much hype listening to you guys. Oh, you know, the winner fights for the UFC belt and blah blah blah. Like, I wanted to show I could stand up. I wanted to, you know, stand up, go 5 rounds, stand up with the kickboxer. I did that, and, you know, I lost a decision. So maybe I should have stuck to my original game plan and not tried to, you know, impress the fans and the media and Dana White and everybody and say, oh yeah, I can stay standing with the kickboxer. I can do everything. I can, you know, stand and bang. I can go to the ground. I can do it all. So that got to me a little bit, which is now why I am so focused on. I don't care about all the rest of it. It's all particulars. I don't care at all. It's just going out there and go get a W.
You've been in a similar position that he's in now, where you're coming in from another organization, and people are basically questioning, you know, is everything that he's accomplished, you know, is he a UFC fighter? Do you remember your first UFC fight? Did you, you know, you were coming off loss, but did you feel any different? Did you feel any pressure to, and do you think he'll be feeling that?
You definitely feel it. You know, you definitely have to take it in stride, not let it affect you too much. Not let it get to your head, not let it overwhelm you. That being said, my UFC debut was not for a title, but it was in front of the largest UFC in history, 55,000 people in Toronto, all screaming for their hometown boy, Mark Bocek. So that was a little could be overwhelming, but I just kind of let it slide off me and concentrate on the task at hand, which is going to go beat him up, and I did that.
When you train, with an athlete from another sport like they showed in the contest show with you and Larry, are you able to, even though obviously he can't train in fighting with you, but can you learn anything from him, just the way he approaches his work and the kind of attitude he has toward things?
Yeah.
Or other athletes?
No, just because it was just like one training session, we didn't really get that much into it, so it's hard to pick up by watching him. But I definitely, picked his brain on how he approaches things as a pro athlete, how he does this, how he does that. Especially at his level, as high as he is, he has to do things, pretty well. So I definitely picked his brain on got his thoughts on just preparation, the mental side, the physical side, all of that.
Do you let yourself ever, you talk about him, as high a level as he is, but if we talk to him, he'd be saying, what a high level you're at, right? And do you ever let yourself think of that these other superstars in other sports think of you that way you may think of them?
Well, I understand that. I understand. I get that. The basketball players, the high-level basketball players, high-level NFL players, they view me the same way that I view them, which is cool. It's awesome. But coming from a wrestling background, we know all the football players and basketball players get all the love, those bastards.
Those 8-figure paychecks.
Yes, that'd be the part I'm most jealous of.
You're kind of becoming the Fox poster boy for this company at this point. I mean, how does that feel for you, and then what does it mean to you to kind of be in this position?
I dig it, man. I won't lie at all. I definitely dig it. Being on Fox, headlining 2 cards, not in a row because it was 5 and 7 now, but headlining 2 cards is pretty cool. It shows a lot of faith and trust from the UFC top brass, a lot of faith and trust from the Fox top brass for me to be a representative of not only the UFC but as MMA, a representative for their mixed martial arts. It's kind of cool. I definitely dig it. It's a lot broader of an audience. 5.5 million people tuned in for the last fight against Diaz at the height of our fight. So I dig it. It's awesome.
How much has this fight cut into your preparation for the NFL draft and studying the guys?
I still stay up to date on the draft. I pay attention for my teams.
Yeah, what was that? That was kind of you're a Seahawks fan and you're giving up what the hell was that?
Yeah. Oh no, for the Seahawks and the Cardinals you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the same division.
They are in the same division. But when you have Larry Fitzgerald sitting right next to you and he's saying, hey, why don't you be a Cardinal? I'm like, it's hard to say no to. It's definitely hard to say no to. But I got season tickets. I'm gonna buy season tickets for the Cardinals this year. I'm going to go to every game. I'm going to try my darndest to be a Cardinal fan. I'm going to join that bird gang. Except for 2 games a year when they have to play the Seahawks. Then I still got to pull for my Hawks.
We'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when the talk started about the winner of Pettis and Aldo coming up to fight for the lightweight title?
It is what it is. In this business, there's not a preset, scientific, mathematical. Okay, well this year equals this guy gets to fight. This guy. It's kind of a you call it, you want it, you talk crap. Okay, you get it because of whatever reason. That's how our organization works. Cool, whatever. I'm not gonna complain. I'll go with the flow. If that's how you get fights, then whatever. It's cool.
Do you have a preference in terms of who you want to face if you were to pick?
I don't really care. No, it doesn't matter to me. If it happens to be Aldo, let's do Brazil. I've always wanted to fight in front of 100,000 people. Let's do a soccer stadium in Brazil. Let's set that up for a super fight. If it's not Aldo, if it happens to be Pettis, I've been wanting to see him again. So if it happens to be him, that's cool with me too.
It's interesting you willingly would accept a fight in Brazil being on, the definition of enemy territory. I
want a fight in Brazil in front of 100,000 people. If it happens to be against a Brazilian, cool. If it happens to be against a Russian, cool. If it happens to be against an American, cool. I just want to fight in front of 100,000 people. If it happens to be Dallas Cowboy Stadium, let's do that. So let's set up a super fight for that.
Has the commission or the promotion talked to you at all about the toothpick this week? Has that been a point of discussion?
Oh, no, not at all. No, I haven't thought about it.
Will it be in position, or will you be fighting without the toothpick?
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Some doctor photos, I guess you saw.
I don't know. You don't believe everything you see on the internet.